Welcome guys to ALS Defense. Today we are talking about my setup for an apocalyptic rifle. When the zombies come over the hill and you just have nothing else to do and you just gotta take care of business. So let's get right into it. Zit, if you've never seen it, this is an ACR made by Bushmaster. Sounds like they're coming back into production. I picked this up many years ago and I'll explain why as we start from the top, work down on what I've modified, why I picked it, and why I like it. So first off, Hyperion K CGS. This is the Inconel suppressor. It is a direct thread. I really like direct thread suppressors and CGS because this just works really, really well. Great sound reduction. Produces the least amount of additional stress on your operating system of the rifle. Reduces blowback really well. Modular in the fact you can swap your end caps out. And I stick with direct thread because I can torque this on, I can rock set this on, and I never have to worry about shooting it off, loosening it up or anything like that. And I say that because I've had that happen with other systems that are a quick disconnect. I put this on, it stays on, it lives on this rifle. I dope it this way. I don't worry about zero shift or anything because it's just part of my barrel. So moving on to the barrel, notice it's stainless steel. This is a Proof Research stainless steel button rifled barrel. They don't make it specifically for an ACR, but the beautiful concept of with the ACR is it actually uses the same extensions that for an AR-15. A lot of the parts are interchangeable in AR-15. So I did have to thread the barrel or turn the barrel just a little bit to hold the piston assembly around the barrel. There's a clamp that goes around it, but not a very hard modification. There's a couple people out there on the forums that will do that for you. This barrel is amazingly accurate. And I went with stainless steel, even though it's heavier and it has a Recce straight taper down to the gas block. So it's a lot heavier than a real thin profile barrel because as this heats up and you get a volume of fire, I mean, it's the zombies, right? So this rifle, this barrel, this suppressor with normal 62 grain SS-109 ammo that you can pick up at any of your sporting goods stores, I don't stand at 700 meters. I will hit you. And I won't hit you on like my 10th round. I'll hit you on my first or second round given the wind, especially if I've done my part correctly. Very accurate barrel, consistently shoots under 3/4 minute angle with normal mil-spec ammo. Hand loads that I have built up shoot under half consistently. Moving on, I run a Mod Light. This is the smaller Scout version. They do make a longer version. It's got the Mod Light button right here on top. I like it on the top position for my thumb. The heads are interchangeable in the Mod Light, and this is what's beautiful about their system. They have a high output battery. You can run the longer housing, and that will push this out a little farther and then push your the light out a little farther. I don't really notice I have any shadow with the suppressor at all, but the heads are interchangeable from an IR to a more direct beam, longer focus. And when I mean longer, they outrun our headlights on our trucks. So hundreds of meters, you can pop this thing on and you can see things, which is awesome when you don't have night vision or you want to go white light or you need to positively ID something and you can see it right through your optic. And it's like turning on the lights. Amazing product, really recommend it. Right now I have Magpul, just H&K style hooks, sling swivels here. They do make push buttons, you could run those. I like this just because they already had one built in on the back end. I didn't have to run push buttons with the side folding stock or anything like that. Real simple. Sling, this is just a general, very basic sling. It's actually made by one of my friends at a unit on the East Coast in Little Creek. I secure it with a homemade bungee cord, put a little tab on there with a cinched strap so I can cinch it down or loosen it up as much as I can. You can just pull this, if you zigzag it in correctly, you just pull this out, it doesn't get caught, doesn't do anything, and this retains, and it also kind of keeps the short cable that is for the Mod Light there. So moving down, you'll see this fun little thing. This is called a Skeet IR, it's a thermal imager. It does flip out of the way, flips right in line. You can push it out of the way, much like a magnifier would work on the back end. Other beautiful feature of this is it comes off and actually can clip in as a helmet mount. And what I love about having a thermal that can be helmet mounted, if I just want to look around, I got to find my zombies coming over the hill line, right? Zombies still put out heat. I can see them And oh, they're over there. Guys, they're over here. I can hand it to my buddy and he can look at, oh, there they are. Because you can see on thermal a lot of different stuff versus night vision or even white light. You can pick up heated objects, living or half dead at that matter, at a incredible distance with thermal. Even this little skeet. Skeet is designed for a lot closer range engagements within a couple hundred yards. A bigger dedicated clip-on would work for those much longer shots, but this is awesome at identifying targets, and you can make shots, you can hunt with it. This is what I use to pig hunt. So moving down, as you can see, VCOG. Can't say enough about the Trijicon VCOG. It is just bulletproof, right? Illuminated reticle. This is the 1:8 mil version. Really like the way they set it up. On 1 power, that segmented circle, you put illumination on or even without, it really just draws your eye, draws your focus to the targets for quick, close range stuff. And when you want to dial to 8, the little small fine aiming point that's in there works great to put it on real precise targets. It doesn't cloud it. It allows you to get a good zero. I zero this one at 100, and you can use the rest of those stadia lines, those 1 mil and half mil marks for your holdovers. If there is one downside of the VCOG, it is it doesn't have exposed turrets. If you're trying to take longer shots, you can't dial. But really with the dope and the reticle that's in there, you don't really need it within the performance of what you can do. And like I said, 600, 700 meters, yep, we're good. It works just fine. One augment that I did to this VCOG that didn't come from the factory is I put Tenebrex scope caps on it. I really like these because they flip down, they flip out of the way. They're pretty darn tough. There's another company out there that makes another brand that I also really, really like. You'll see it on some of my other rifles. But as far as they just didn't happen to make it for this, and Tenebrex is kind of either one. I love these. They keep your optic clean and they flop out of the way. I don't have to worry about breaking them. They're just bulletproof. Continuing down the rifle, you'll notice it doesn't have a charging handle on this side. It's actually on this side. It's forward. Really nice design. We can talk more about the ACR design and why I actually picked the ACR as a general weapon system. But ambi safeties, didn't swap anything out. I did swap out to a Geissele 2-stage match trigger on this. The standard one that comes with it is a Bushmaster mil-spec 7.5 pound horrible trigger. So this has got a Geissele in it. I love it. It's a Geissele. What else to be said? That is kind of the upgrades and the overview or the specifics of the rifle. Let's kind of talk about why I picked the ACR. And everybody's gonna say, man, that thing's front heavy. Yeah, it's a little front heavy. Pretty much everything, when you start strapping optics and lights and suppressors on the front end of a 16-inch gun, it's front heavy. I get a 10.5-inch gun at work. It's front heavy too. So you know what? Get stronger. That's all really I can say on that one. But beautiful thing about being a more front heavy gun in this configuration, when you fire fast, there's no muzzle rise at all. And that really benefits you when you're trying to take that longer shot. It stays on target. It just recoils straight back, doesn't move, doesn't jump, nothing, stays right on target. And that can be really key when you're by yourself trying to take out the horde of zombies and you're having to spot your hits or misses. You know, zombies, they say you got to shoot them in the head. So maybe if oh man, that was a body shot, I got to aim up a little bit more. He's a little farther than I thought. You know, I want to be able to spot those hits. And this setup, slightly forward heavy, really allows me to do that. The other great things that I like about the ACR are as much time as I have with an AR-15 platform and the rear charging handle and the muscle memory and the time doing that, a forward charging handle is much more ergonomic. And I'll show you that. I can be on the gun here and cycle and look. I don't have to come off. I don't have to come back here. I don't have to come back here. And inherently, I point my muzzle up higher because I can't hold the gun. Here, I can, there's press check. Oh, we good. Got around in there, middle of the night. Guys, okay, I don't have to do one of these things, press check in my rifle. I can just do this. Yeah, okay, cool. I didn't really have to flop around with it. Other great thing I like about an ACR over an AR-15 is I can side fold the stock. And yes, I know you can get about 3 or 4 different adapters for an AR-15 to allow it to side fold. But you know what it doesn't do? Keep firing in this position. You normally get a round, maybe, but it won't cycle. I can take this and just cycle away if I needed to. And it makes it really compact when I'm getting in and out of vehicle. So now I don't notice that 16-inch barrel with the suppressor that's permanently attached to it. You go, oh, well, you know, AR-15, I want to take the suppressor off to save my room. Well, I'm going to side folding stock, I don't care. Just pop it out, ready to go. And if I can't, I just shoot it with it folded. I also like the adjustability. You can change the length of pull. Right now it's kind of set up for me without armor on. If I'm running armor, I run it a little bit closer. It does have a mild cheek riser here that you can run. Nothing extravagant, but it doesn't need it because you want to keep your optic as low as possible. This has got a little bit more bore height than a normal AR-15, and you want to keep this in line with your skeet or any other front clip-on. Another thing to mention that I forgot in the front of this rifle is this little adapter right here. It's from Spartan Precision. Goes to this. It's my bipod. Bipod on, bipod off. As an assault rifle, or not an assault rifle, but as a assaulter, I guess, if you would, or somebody that has to shoot, move, and communicate a lot faster, I don't want this thing always on here. I can take it off, get a good C grip up here, and operate the rifle. Zombie apocalypse comes, and I've retreated to my position, and I'm holding fast. And my kids are behind me, and I got to take out all the zombies. I want to be a little more stable. I can put this on and get to work. And now you're just a much more stable platform, and it works well. I love the fact that I have a lot of adjustability in this. It's lightweight, carbon fiber. There's actually little prongs on the bottom of these rubbers, which is beautiful, and it locks. It does tilt, and if you spin it around, you can have it locked or you can have it twist as well. So really well thought out bipod system. Doesn't take up any room on my gun. If I don't want it, I can take it off and just beat the zombies in the head with it or what have you I need. But anyway, that is my rifle. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned. We got more great content coming.